Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. Say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be back with you guys on a great Monday. It's not a bad Monday at all here in the Chicagoland area. No torrential snowstorms, torrential rains, no tsunamis. Actually, a pretty decent day, somewhat great sunshine wise, and it's supposed to get warmer the rest of the week here. Today kicks off our 1 week celebration to Valentine's Day. Next Monday, February 14th is Valentine's Day. So every night this week on the show, we're going to talk about things that you can do, things that you and your partner can do, and things that you can do to just remember people who love you, period. So we're going to offer a little bit of everything. And joining us tonight is self-proclaimed relationship guru, Mr. Leon R. Walker. He's the author of the book Broken, where he shares his personal stories of being a man that is broken and now back in the healing process. And what we're going to talk about tonight is why do women like Kay Renee want a cuddle buddy that's a bad boy? Why? Ladies and gentlemen, our co-host and my dear friend, the one and only Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Good evening, darling. You want that bad cuddle buddy. You want the bad boy.
No, I married one, and no, I've grown from that experience. So no,
yes.
I told you I like a nerd. Nerds are good.
I do too. I love a nerd. I do too. I like somebody that slightly drools a little bit. I like somebody that, yeah, I love a nerd. Yes.
That's
yes.
right.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Okay.
And don't be a cute nerd. It just makes it even.
You can be a cute nerd because sometimes cute nerds they're socially inept. So
yes.
you just gotta,
yes.
train them just
yes.
That's all.
Amen. Amen. So yes, I love a cute nerd. I do.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're back for another week of our show. Next Monday is Valentine's Day, and we have a really great show planned for you guys. We have a wonderful vocalist who will be stopping by to serenade us all. And then we're probably going to talk about some sex next week as well, too. Yes, whether it's solo sex or whatever you're fancying sex, we're going to talk about some things to keep it hot and spicy because it's Valentine's Day next Monday. How about that? Okay, Renee, how was your weekend, my love? You and Miss Kim Coleman actually have an anniversary coming up this Saturday.
We do. Can you believe it, Art? On Saturday, February 12th, marks 1 year where my podcasting sister, Miss Kim Coleman, asked me, would you mind doing a podcast? And I said the 3-letter word, yes. And again, I always give kudos and thanks to you because if it had not been for you and Kim and myself being on your show, it would never have taken place. So on Saturday marks our 1 year anniversary. We have 2 special guests. In fact, they're the 2 first guests of our podcast last February. So I am just very excited, and we're going to have some great candid conversations in the coming weeks because there's certain topics that need to be discussed.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to having those discussions. So yes.
Okay, very good. Well, I want to congratulate you ladies. You ladies are just amazing, great chemistry. Your work that you put into your show shows. I've watched the progress of the show, and I just wish you ladies nothing but tremendous success with it. And just to know it got birthed out of this project is just something, which is a reward all in itself. So thank you so very much for that. And congratulations to you ladies, because today is actually National Send a Friend a Compliment or a note of compliment. So this works out perfectly today. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of national days, today is National Black HIV AIDS Awareness Day as well. So
yes, it is.
Make sure you become aware of that because even though with COVID, that's been the primary topic, let's not forget, our community in particular continues to die of that disease each and every day and each and every year.
Yes. Yes, you're absolutely right. And with me being a huge advocate of HIV and AIDS awareness, Gina Lamar Evans, who we call Auntie Gina,
Mm-hmm.
she had a wonderful discussion earlier today online to discuss this. But we must stay on the forefront of HIV and AIDS, and it is not gone anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. They're
No.
giving people medicine now to better be able to treat it, but we must remember those who are battling and those that have lost their lives to HIV and AIDS over the years. I've lost a lot of friends. So, yes, today is the perfect day to reflect, restore, and reinvigorate us as a people to remember HIV and AIDS is still in the forefront.
Amen.
Yes,
Amen.
very good. All right. Let's get into this stuff that we talk about each and every night on this show. As you guys all know, we're a health and wellness show. So every night we give you guys the latest COVID-19 update numbers. We do hope that one day we won't be able to deliver these numbers, but right now we're going to do it. And this is how we got this show started, was to keep our audience and people informed about the latest with COVID-19. Illinois public health officials reported today 4,701 new COVID cases, and unfortunately, we have 31 additional fatalities as of Monday. There has now been a total of 2,971,516 COVID cases, including 31,483 deaths in the state since the beginning of the pandemic. Today's numbers are the second lowest numbers since December, when the first case of Omicron variant was first detected in the state. So that's good that our numbers are dropping like that. Illinois is now averaging 7,221 new cases per day. Actually, that's per day over the past week. That is a 78% decrease from the state peak, which was 32,500 cases as of January 12th. 1 month ago, the state reported 42,903 new cases, which was the second highest daily total since the beginning of the entire pandemic. And remember, I said that to you, K. Renee. I said, wait a minute, these numbers are mimicking the numbers of when this pandemic first happened. So that's what really made me nervous and worried about the Omicron variant. What do you think?
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more, Art. I mean, remember, it was this time 2 years ago when we were first hearing about COVID. So you just got to kind of wonder. And with the recent mask mandate or lack thereof here in the state of Illinois, I just get a little nervous,
Well,
just a little bit.
hold that, because that's the discussion I want to have. I want to see if the audience will chime in. So let me finish these numbers, and then I'm going to throw
Okay.
that question out there. The state 7-day average case positivity rate is now down to 5.5 after reaching a high of 15.2 in January. So our positivity rate is really good. It's 5.5. So that's not bad at all. Hospitalizations from COVID-19 are seeing a steep decline over the past month. As of Sunday night, last night, a total of 2,744 people were hospitalized with COVID-19 in Illinois. That's down 62% from a month ago. Hospitalizations in Illinois peaked on January 12th with 7,380 people in the hospital from COVID. So that has been a tremendous drop. Same way with the deaths, it has been a tremendous drop as well, too. Now, with that being said, K. Renee and audience, with the governor of Illinois possibly dropping the mask mandate soon, do you think that you will be departing from our lovely face accessories that we have been wearing for quite a while? Where are you at with this, K. Renee?
I paid a lot of money for them K95 masks. I'm gonna
Well,
wear
hello.
them until I wear them out. Now, interestingly enough, you asked me what I did this weekend. Guess what came in the mail this weekend?
What? Oh, your COVID test. You kidding me? Wow. Got you. Okay. Now, were you like a kid at Christmas, excited and
I
happy? And
was.
okay.
I was.
So now have you ripped into it and then used
Not
it 10
yet.
times? And okay,
Not.
right.
I haven't done it yet because until I feel the need, I think I may need to. But I was like, alrighty, I got my test. Very
Right.
good.
Yes. Now, I guess they send so many per week or something, because I guess what you're supposed to get 5 of them or something.
You're supposed to get 4. I think it's 4 per month. I'm looking at the test here. It says here there are 2 tests in a box, so I got 4. So I'm sure I'll order another one from the website that you provided last week, so I can get.
Right.
I don't want to stockpile, but I want to have enough just in case if I'm feeling a little. I don't have my paints.
Right.
If Miss Bonaparte
Right.
is
I
listening,
got to
I'm
get
gonna
your
need my
paints to
paints.
you. Right. I got to get your paints to you.
And
I'll
my
get your
paints.
paints tomorrow. I'm going to get your paints
But
to you.
I was, sweetie, I was glad to see that the doorbell rang. I'm thinking like it was after like 5 o'clock. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? The mailman dropped that test in front of my door. I was like, ooh, thank you, Jesus.
Wow. Very good. Well, if you get that boo thing, honey, you can test him right there at the crib. Okay. All right. I just thought I'd give you a creative thing
You
to
know
do.
what today is, right? All right.
It's
Now let's not forget
Valentine's
that.
week. It's Valentine's week. You said what? Today is what?
National Black HIV AIDS Awareness Day. Come on now.
Okay, so you want that test too. Lord have mercy. You're going to have a lavatory in your powder room. Right.
You better believe it.
Oh, my God. Let me see. We have a viewer from Puerto Rico. I shall be mad, even though Puerto Rico's numbers are low. Yes.
Alejandro.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, we're going to be wearing them too. So you ain't got to worry about that. And I'm like you. I got too many beautiful, cute, trendy masks. I got dressy masks. Look, I like it. I love it. I think it's a great idea. So,
and think about now, we live in a colder climate. Honestly, to have the mask while you're walking out, it definitely helps. So
yes.
I'm wearing a mask wherever I go.
Yes, very good. I couldn't agree with you more on that. All right. Well, let's get into some of the other news stories. I think something that has been a hot topic over the weekend, and you and I have touched bases on this. Kiara Shear of she's the offspring of one of the Clark sisters, right. Comes from an amazing musical family. She recently got married. I follow her on social media, always fabulous, beautiful, all of that. Has married a nice looking young man. And so she put out a statement saying, this reminds me of Aretha Franklin. I don't need nobody sitting around me and my man. Don't need no company always. K. Renee, bring the story up for us so we can talk about it.
Well, again, gospel artist and niece of the legendary Clark sisters, Miss Kiara Kiki Sherrard, has said, if you're single, you can't come into my mama. You can't come into my house. Basically, what she's saying is, you can visit, but you can't stay in the house. And, there's been a lot of ups and downs about this story. Now, I shared a personal story with you, and I will share it here. My late mother, who, I love to life, but I'm going to tell you, she was very persnickety, if that's the word, because my maternal grandfather, which was her father, when my grandparents divorced, they didn't divorce back in the day. They just said, I'm done. Well, my grandfather was a manager for a gospel group. Ironically, how this story fits, right. In Mississippi. So when every year he would come to Chicago to visit us, and of course manage the group. Well, one year my grandfather had a little boo thing, and he wanted to stay in our house. And Clara Steen was like, oh, hell no. You will stay at the motel across the street. And right. I'll never forget the look on my grandfather's face. He said, you must be kidding. And my mother was like, does this face look like I'm kidding? And guess where he stayed? All right, motel across the street. So I understand. I can respect it. People may not like it. A lot of women are, well, maybe she's insecure. No, it's about respect. It's about boundaries. Right? Iyanla talks about, boundaries, balance, buildings, and, you have to have boundaries. And,
right.
I don't look at it as, being married once. I don't look at it as, being insecure. It's just about boundaries.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to take this one or two different directions. Okay. So my cousin Bernard Sims, who's written a great book that talks about my upbringing, my backstory, not my personal, but my family, my father's side, which is it's a great book. We're gonna have him on as a guest. I'm gonna talk more about it. But we came from people didn't stay in hotels. When people came to visit, they piled up in your house. You know what I'm saying? Like I was the one that used to be like, Mama, Daddy, can we go stay at a hotel? Can we stay at a hotel with a son? No, we ain't staying in no hotel. So everybody would pile up in people's houses.
Our family was the same way too, but guess what? They were married and had children. That's the difference. Nobody who was single stayed up in, because even my mom on my dad's side of the family, there were some single aunties and uncles. My mom gave a look like no, because you got to remember too, I was coming up as a growing up and maturing as it were. My mom was very concerned about that. She was like, if something happened to my baby, I'm gonna kill these Negroes.
Right.
I don't care who they are. So
yes.
You and my families are very similar, but the difference was most of my family on both sides were married. So yes, when we go visit Sammy Lou or Billy Sue, we were married, had kids. We stayed in their guest room. You know what I'm saying? But no.
And then I guess too, I've seen a lot of where, girl, don't nobody that will stay. But I mean, I don't know. I guess in this day and age, and with the amount of temptation that is out there, and Kiara is at an age where she that young and popping crowd and that type of thing. I could see that. I really, really could. Because I've always been an advocate of, girl, take your ass to a hotel, or let's go to a hotel, or, I have. And I mean, really, I've gotten like that now with this pandemic mode. I'll let somebody stay over, if I know the story, but otherwise, no, I'll come meet you at your hotel or whatever. So,
or better yet, I'll give you some money and you stay at a hotel. Because honestly, call me being an only child, look, I like my space and like my solitude. And unless if you're coming for a night for, an emergency situation, I have no problem with. But when you're talking about, well, I want to come and stay with you for a couple days. Here's some money. Let me put you up in a hotel.
Right. Yeah. Like my best friend, I could stay with her at her place and I'm comfortable and cool and all of that. Cause me and her, laugh, talk, love, coffee, all that, but not too many other people's places am I going to stay either. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not that person. I'm just, look, if I can't afford to stay in a hotel, I'm going to keep my ass at home. Right. So, okay. All right. So I guess, we want to hear from the audience tonight. You're married, husband, you got female friends coming to visit, maybe even relatives. You might have that hot cousin that's always, and nowadays you got to be worried about dudes as well too. So I mean, I'm curious to know what the audience would think about that. All right, so let's move on and then let's come back to that once they put the comments up. Go right ahead.
Well, something happened over the weekend over across the pond, where the weekend Queen Elizabeth has celebrated, check this out, y'all, 70 years being on the throne. That in of itself is historic. But she made the announcement that when she dies and her son Charles will be king, his wife, was normally known as Princess Camilla, will be known as Queen Consort. Yes. Now, when I heard the news and I saw your post, I said, well, God dog it. The side piece has moved up in the world. That's
yes, honey. The side piece really did move up. As we all know, Camilla Bowles, which was her maiden name or whatever the case may be, was rumored to have been Prince Charles' side piece when that whole thing was going on. She did get up. She got her man. She all of that, but technically she was the side piece. Now I know the
For sure.
Brits might not be happy with me saying that. That may not be the most politically correct thing to say, but in the
She was
hood,
what?
honey, she was a side piece. And so now here's the deal. I did get the backstory. Yeah, she'll be named Queen Cohort or whatever the case may
Consort.
be,
Consort,
consort,
yes.
cohort, whatever, but she will never ever be the Queen of England.
Okay.
So
Well,
she won't be the
who will
queen.
that go to? Will that go to
It'll be
Kate?
Charles will be the king, but unless one of
He
them
dies.
kids, right, one of them females of the family would become queen. But other than that, she would be queen of what I don't even know where that's at, where she queen at. I
Queen
heard it was
consort. That's the title, official
do we
title.
know where consort is at?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not like saying, like
Girl,
where whatever it is. It's not like with Meghan and Prince Harry. They're the Duke and Duchess of
right,
something. I
right.
don't. It's just Queen Consort. That's
Oh,
just the
okay.
the
Well, I
title.
want to investigate that and we'll talk more tonight. I mean, tomorrow night about it
Okay.
because truly she could be, that could be a housing project in London. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That really could be a housing project. That could be the low end. That could be, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know how we have like the mayor of Bronzeville, the queen
Yes.
or Bud Billiken, something like that. So she, I mean, it might be, she the queen of a housing project. We don't know, but she is not the queen of England.
This is true.
Nice come up for a side piece, but not the grand prize, baby. You did not win the
And
cigar.
and as quiet as it's kept, though, I will give her credit. She's kept a and she's tried to maintain a very low profile even after Princess Diana's tragic death in 1990. I remember where I
Right,
was when I heard about the crash. And
right.
you think about this with Prince Harry and Prince William. As I said this to you offline, Prince William may be okay with it. I don't know about Prince Harry because he
Yes,
truly loved him some Princess Diana. So
that's true. That's true. That is very true. Let's go
mhm.
back to our past comment. Tammy, hey, Tammy, we love her. We're going to have her on for Black History Month. She
Okay.
said, I had my male friends who are married let me stay at their house. So I'm glad Tammy brought this up. Um, like, I know that has happened. Depending on the type of woman you are, the friendship you have with these guys, and I mean, I don't know, because like I can tell the difference between this getting ready to be some slick mess versus this just my good friend who I've been friends with. I mean, you got to realize I had this conversation yesterday. I'm the gay male friend. So a lot of times, will this husband let me stay over? Will, you know what I'm saying? You don't want it to be messy. So I could see Tammy being me knowing Tammy, the type of woman that, like if she wanted to stay here at my house, she could stay at my house with me. I wouldn't have no problem with that. But now I know some women, I wouldn't trust this heifer no further than the kitchen to put a glass in the sink. Make sense?
Makes
I know
perfect
Tammy
sense because
probably laughing right now. Right.
because
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
I have close male friends. I wouldn't do that though. I just wouldn't. Out of respect for their wives, I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All
Just
right.
wouldn't.
Then we'll see. That's a two each his own. Preston said you shouldn't have a guest staying overnight in the studio apartment. You a mess, Preston. No, we cannot. That would be a mess. Yes. That's one guess. She's going to be the queen of the night. Talking about
You got
Camilla.
that
Yes,
right.
yes,
That's true.
absolutely. And
He's on
hello,
point.
brother. Hey, Ronald. Good to see you.
Hi,
Glad you're here with us tonight. Absolutely. All right. Well, very good. Let's move on from that. Oh, and one day we're gonna talk about the queen's purses and how long she carries them, what collection she carries, and
Ronald.
how
Oh
much
my.
each purse is valued at. But yes, if you notice, the queen's purses are all the same little what style.
Yes.
Well, they're a famous designer and they make them for her to match her outfit. So we'll talk about that.
Okay. Wow.
All right, keep going. What's next?
Well, as you call me the lady of the making the transition announcements. There was a
Yes.
transition that happened over the weekend. Whom this gentleman I happen to know, and I gave him a nickname. For those who are in the personal growth and development, you will know this man wholeheartedly. Bob Proctor, who was a best-selling author. He was a member of the ensemble movie called The Secret, and he wrote a book called You Were Born Rich. Made his transition on Friday at the age of 87. I had the distinct pleasure of meeting Bob when I was married to my ex. We interviewed him on numerous occasions, and he had asked my ex and I. He flew us to Toronto, where he originated, where he lived, and
Wow.
flew us. At the time, my ex-husband had published a book, which he called him, one of his personal mentors, and Bob was just really just a sweet guy. In fact, when he flew us in, my ex-husband had the opportunity to speak, and what Bob did literally was close out one of the theaters in Toronto for all of us to see The Lion King. Now, to do that, it was gonna be like
Wow.
50, 100 of us watching The Lion
Wow.
King. And after that, I said, you my godfather. You're the godfather of personal growth and development. And I
Yes.
gave
Yes.
him that title. And so now Bob is with the ancestors. So, but he, for those who do not know who Bob Proctor is, please Google him. Definitely, he's on YouTube. He has an institute called the Proctor Gallagher Institute. It's on Instagram. He will definitely, if you haven't seen the movie The Secret, I encourage you to see it. If you really want to live your best life and have your best life, Bob was definitely one of those people. So, to my prayers go out to his family, but he definitely lived a purpose-filled life.
Mm-mm. He was a tremendous speaker, could command a room whenever he
Yes.
did.
Yes.
I actually did read that book. I used to be so heavy into reading those type of books. And then I think I got into the world of how people can be so disenchanting that you deal with in the world, because you can read all of those self-help books, you can read all the guidance in the world, but unless you go to work with people of a like mind, everything gets lost in translation. But I will agree, he was a phenomenal author, speaker, all of that. And that's so cool that you and your ex-husband had that personal connection.
Oh my goodness, he was just a sweetheart, and interesting enough, we were the only African Americans that he featured certain people. We were the only ones that he featured, but it was just, I mean, the fact art, he shut a theater down for all of us to see The Lion King. Who does that?
Yes,
Who does
yes.
that?
Yes, well, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to do that. Yes, and I want to be able to
You're gonna
use
get a chance
real,
to do that.
yeah, and I want to be able to use real animals, not no
Lord
puppets.
have
Right,
mercy.
I want real animals. Be like, was that a real elephant that came out on stage? Was that a real
Oh
lion?
my goodness.
Yes, it was. Yes, okay. Very good. All right. Well, our condolences to his family and to all
Yes.
of his supporters and friends who, as we said before, he has been just a tremendous force in guiding people over the years. All right. What else
Absolutely.
do you have?
Well, we need to, we'll continue this particular conversation, but you do remember AJ Johnson. Now she has a series called Life Therapy.
Yes.
Well, she recently celebrated a milestone, turning 50, but she
Uh-huh.
also did something very interesting. I've written about it in my book, by having a threesome.
Oh.
And I'm sure she's gonna get a lot of flack about it. So
Hmm.
I like to talk with our audience about it. Question: would you do it? Would you do a threesome? That's the question. And would it be, two females and a man, or two men and a woman? And AJ Johnson, who I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first heard of her doing this series Life Therapy, I'm like, I haven't seen her in a while. All thing I remember was doing House Party. To see her now, she is buffed. She
Oh,
is just on
absolutely.
point, looking
Yes.
just fabulous, and she
Yeah.
really tries to help people to have that breakthrough. So when she acknowledged and admitted she did threesome, I said, I ain't mad at her. So I like to pose a question to our audience. Would you do a threesome?
Well, I'm gonna ask you the question. I'm gonna let me set it up. Let me set it up. So the two men that she had the threesome with were friends. They
Mm-hmm.
were black men from France who only spoke French during the encounter. Johnson speaks French fluently. Then added to the romance and sensual experience, a carafe of Patron that they were drinking didn't hurt either. It was so effortless, so sexy, and not in a sexual way. It was sensual, she said. They were very gentle. They treated me like I was a queen. It wasn't freaky, and it wasn't like a raunchy, nasty type of situation. It was sensual. It was very, very sensual. So, I mean, I'm gonna ask you first. I'm gonna ask you first. You go right ahead. Yes.
Well, let's just say I've written about it. Oh, Preston, Jesus take the wheel. Yeah, Jesus, he's on the other side of the road. So
Right.
this is, now for those who are under 21, we need for you to go away.
Right.
We're gonna make
Right.
that disclaimer.
Right.
So if you're over 21, we can talk. If you're under 21, go watch TV or something, because we about to get grown folks. We're about to talk grown.
Yes. Yes.
To answer your question, would I do it? Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm shocked. I'm very shocked
I don't
because
know why.
well, as they say, you just never until somebody, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. So,
I don't know why.
how would it be set up? Would it be you and two men, or would
Of
it
course.
be? Oh,
Of
okay.
course.
Okay. 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 I'm just.
And here's the deal. I was approached by a gentleman who I know, and he wanted me with another woman. And I told him, I said, and I'm not going to be cruel, but I will try to be as politically correct what I'm about to say. I said, the day I eat fish is the day you suck sausage. Now, when you do that, we can have a conversation.
Okay.
And that was the end of the conversation.
Okay.
So,
well,
to answer your question, I would do it. And see, one, I would have to be divorced. I mean, I would not, of course, not do it when you're married. Because see, men can't handle that.
Okay.
They can't. They cannot handle that. I'm gonna tell you that now. They cannot. If the right situation if there's the right situation, yeah. And
okay.
I like, honestly, when I read it, I said, you know what? They have to be not from the United States either.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And fully, and let me just put that, they had to be tested too. Now let's keep it real.
Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. Very good. I'm just kind of surprised about the two men being friends.
I don't know about that, but
well, no, I'm talking about with AJ's situation.
Right. That's why I was kind of surprised when she said that. I was like, okay.
Yes, and here's the deal. Moment of true confession. I've been on both sides of that coin.
Okay.
In a hetero situation, and you know what I'm saying. So I've been in. So interesting to say the least. Everybody has got to be super mature. Everybody's got to be, and again, like AJ said, if it's not in a raunchy, nasty, type of situation, it can be sensual depending on what it is that you want done and what people are doing. I think everybody thinks it's a wild and crazy penetration thing where it may not be. It may,
exactly.
I don't, all right, I'm gonna plead the fifth before I get in trouble, child. Okay, here we go. I'm shocked. With two men, there are two openings X-rated. But like my one situation wasn't penetration, it was erotica. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Yes. Okay. He says I can send Kay the link from Pornhub.
No.
Oh,
see,
Lord,
that's wrong. See that? Yeah. Now you go in a different direction. No.
Right.
We don't do raunchy. Now we don't do that.
Yes. Okay. Well, all right. Good luck to AJ. I'm sure there are a lot of women that would want to confess that or have done that or, whatever the case may be. And to each his own, whatever floats your boat. We do want to take a few moments to offer our condolences to singer and talk show host Selena Johnson. Her dad died also this past weekend.
Oh
As you
no.
guys all know, his music has been sampled over 400 times. Kanye West has used his music. Matter of
Wow.
fact, one of the TV shows, I almost want to say A Different World, or one of those shows, that was his voice in the song. But Mr. Sly Johnson passed away, and his brother passed away just last week. So,
Oh
Preston,
my
thank you for reminding
goodness.
us. But yeah, Selena Johnson has had double death in her family. So, thank you for
Oh,
that,
prayers go
Preston.
out to her.
Um, Janet, oh, I love what she said. It's not about porn. Yeah,
That's exactly.
yeah, it
It's
was.
not.
Yeah, it was interesting. Just interesting to say the least. Just very interesting both times of the dynamic. But yes, so all right. Well, now that we didn't have true confessions on the show tonight, well, you might get lucky and get double cover buddies.
See, no, no, no.
No,
I tell.
let me ask
No.
you this: Could you ever be involved with twins? As we keep moving on, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be here with you guys on a beautiful Monday evening. We're talking about a little bit of this and a whole lot of that. Sitting in the co-host chair is my girl, Miss K. Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. And we just got through talking about threesomes. But again, we are 1 week away from Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is next Monday. All this week, we're going to have amazing guests on the show to talk to you about love, romance, what people want, do not want, what they may need in their lives. Coming up in just a little bit is author and self-proclaimed relationship expert guru, Mr. Leon Walker, and he'll be here tonight. His book is entitled Broken, where he talks about his story of being a broken man and how he comes back to healthiness. But in his journey, he shares the signs that women and even men need to be careful with dealing with bad boys, people, that are really no good for you. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. All right, Kay Renee, now that we've come back down from sipping our tea, yeah, the twin thing, we may have to talk offline about that. And one twin was good and the other twin was bad, honey. Girl, I was so confused. I didn't know what to do. Okay, I'll leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. All right, what else we got in the news bag tonight,
You know,
dear?
we really didn't talk about, the suspension that Madam Whoopi is still, this is week 2 now of her suspension. And,
Yes.
now rumors are really flying that she may, if she comes back, she may not stay. What do you, I mean, really, what are your thoughts about what happened? Should she have been suspended? We talked about this briefly Saturday, Kim and I, about the suspension, about the consequences that Whoopi, has now endured. Because when Joy Behar just talked about, Mike Pence, our former vice president, who is evangelical, says he talks to Jesus all the time. She made a very gross comment about him, and there was nothing that happened. There was no consequences. She wasn't even reprimanded. So
Mm-hmm.
in this case with Whoopi, she misspoke and she apologized sincerely, but got 2 weeks. What do you think is going to happen when she returns next week? Because I'm sure, because now this is the second week of her suspension.
Okay, first of all the hoopla behind the situation has died down. I pay very close attention to the news media cycle. It is not as if the Federation of whatever has now
Mm-hmm.
asked for her head to be served on a platter. It's not like this casino is going to take her name down off the marquee,
Right.
all of that. So the hoopla behind the statement has really taken a back seat. As I said when this first happened and we were talking about it, Whoopi's gonna come back on that show, address it in only a way that Whoopi can, in her way of saying it. I'm sure her attorneys, PR people, all of that are working with her now on this 2 weeks off. Now, if Whoopi gives them the middle finger, I wouldn't be surprised. But Whoopi also is no fool. Whoopi knew that this was controversy that got her name back out there. Okay, I said something I shouldn't have, but we never said anything about what was the young girl that was on there all the time with her.
Megan McCain.
Megan with her wild and crazy things that she was always saying. And it's that type of show. It's a show to ruffle feathers. It really is. I think Whoopi gonna come back, just say what she got to say and be done with it, and we just leave it at that. That's what I'm thinking. Here's some of the things that some of the audience is saying.
I agree, Miss Janet. No question. Right. Whoopi gets suspended, but Joe Rogan gets a slap on the wrist. Are you kidding me?
Yes, absolutely.
It's about, to me, this is total white privilege in of its best, even itself.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And Lolita said it best as well too. Whoopi apologized and people should move on. Right. The way I'm looking at it in the news cycle, nobody's really talking about it anymore. You better believe if people was that upset, you'd hear from the Federation, you'd hear from the League of all of that. Just keep it moving. Now will she be embraced with Kugel and you know, a new yarmulke and all that? I don't think so, not right away. But then it also may be a healing process to bridge that gap between the African American community and the Jewish community. So I mean, you know, in every misfortune there's an opportunity and blessing in it, no matter how bad you think it might be. So that's the way I look at it. Right.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. It'll be interesting. Yeah. And then, of course, Miss Wendy Williams, you know, we talk about talk shows.
Child.
What's up with that? Is she going to come back, or are they just putting her down the pasture? What's up?
I don't know, because I was wondering the same thing as well, too. You know, I have mixed feelings about Miss Wendy Williams. Rick says Whoopi has had a history of being pro-Jewish. Right. So, you know, we'll see. With the Wendy Williams situation, part of me believes what the rumors are about her just being such a tyrant, trying to work with her and deal with her. I've seen that many times before with women of that type of power. As far as what they gonna say, because has anybody been filling in? Has Sherry Shepherd still been filling in for her?
I haven't heard. I mean, I know when she was filling in, she was great. You know, in fact, people were loving Sherry, but I have not heard. And I know her and Leah Remini were the two guest co-hosts that were really making the show, but I haven't heard anyone else has been filling in for her.
And I know Nick Cannon's new show is killing it. He's getting all the best guests and doing everything he needs to do. Kelly Clarkson, her show is killing it as well, too. So, I mean, I don't know. I look at it like this, and that's only because I've been in this industry for a long time. Honey, you saw the fame, you saw the glory, and now your time has come. Move on. Move on, Wendy Williams. You need to focus on your health, your mental well-being. Janet just said that Wendy's bank account has been shut down. I didn't know that.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
White men been filling in.
White men have been filling in. Oh,
gracious.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
no.
because I don't watch her show like that.
I don't either. I would see her when it was relevant to, like, for instance, when before Nene got off the Real Housewives. I mean, I love that banter between her and Nene, but you know, I think she could be very cruel. And then once I saw her Lifetime, like, autobiography, if you will, I was like, okay, I understand why she acts the way she does. But you know, when you have a health crisis, that show come to Jesus moment that you need to get your shit together. How about that?
Yes, absolutely. Yep, you're absolutely right. Comment, Ursula said, they said Wendy is suffering from dementia, which I believe that. She may be.
Oh, wow.
She really may be. Because dementia is coming on people earlier and earlier now.
Now, what is up with that? How about that?
Yeah. I follow on social media. Yeah. But dementia is hitting people younger and younger nowadays. So we'll have to have a doctor on to talk about that one evening as well, too. But I know a lot of people in their late 50s, early 60s, and dementia is now setting in on them. So I don't know if it's something in the food we're eating, something in the atmosphere. If it's, you know, it could be something as crazy as drinking Diet Coke or, whatever the case may be. But I am hearing that more and more younger people are coming down with early dementia.
That's scary. That's scary. Well, I want
Oh
to give a
boy,
shout
Preston
out to.
said Wells Fargo put a hold on Wendy's account.
Oh
Wow.
my.
Wow.
Oh, I know she's been diagnosed
We
with
know
Graves'
she has
disease.
the
That
Graves disease, right?
yes.
Yep.
Wow.
Ursula said, and they have froze her bank. Oh, she trying. Oh boy, is she trying to fight it in
Ooh,
court? Oh
my
boy,
goodness.
I hope all this is not a repercussion of that husband. Yeah, we know
Yeah.
about the Graves disease. Yep,
Yeah, we know
absolutely, and
about
that's a
that
lot to deal with as well too.
in
You
of
got something
itself.
called Graves disease, child. That would scare the jeebus out of me right there. Come
Yeah.
on, wait a minute. I got what kind of Graves disease? What does this mean? I'm on my way to my grave?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to you, Art, because this coming weekend is the Chicago Auto Show. And every year they have the show for charity. And I saw on social media when they're promoting the Susan G. Komen event, I said, "There's Chat Daddy." I sent it to you. I said, "Look who's on here." You're like,
I
"That's me." I'm
know.
like, "It sure
I
is."
know.
So
And
you're everywhere, Chat, just
isn't that
everywhere.
amazing that it's been what 2 years since we've had any type of galas or anything, and
Mm-hmm.
they are now going to have the gala this coming Friday, and I'm the face of the invite. So isn't that
How
isn't that
about that?
amazing? That is
How
that is
about that?
amazing, and they ain't invited me to schnit. So right,
Now see that now you gotta get your coins because then you need to talk to them. Say, look, you put my
right,
my presence on here. I need to see some
yes.
coins. How about
That's
that?
all right. That's my give back to the American Cancer
Okay.
Society. Yes,
Okay.
I love them. I love
Okay.
everything that they're about. But yeah, that's too funny. Yeah, I'm like, girl, I didn't even get an invite. But yes, that is me featured on the
Okay.
front of their invitation.
It
So
is.
I appreciate that. I really
Yes.
do. All right. What else we got, darling, before we welcome our guest tonight? He'll be at the top of the hour with us.
Well, locally here in Chicago, I was just really surprised that a grandmother was shot in the Bronzeville area over this past weekend, and come to find out a security guard. What's up with that? I'm just like,
Yes.
this. We're living in some crazy times.
We
What
are.
in
We
the heck is
really
going
are.
on?
Yes, yes. For those of you that are not familiar with the story, uh, 35th in Indiana, I knew the place for years to be Poor Woods, but I guess now it's called Woods. And it's a liquor store, convenience store type of situation. I guess somebody came in, got into it with the security guard that was on duty. The security guard that was on duty wasn't even supposed to be there, not even holding a weapon or having a weapon. And from what I understand, he even took somebody else's gun, fired the gun at the person who he was having a conference with. The person shot him first. He goes out, tries to shoot at the person. He's shooting down the street. This lady is running to try to get away from everything. She gets shot in her running and collapsed in front of the Chase Bank. Because I couldn't understand. Like, I know bullets travel, but damn, you mean to tell me that? And for this guy that had been on the ground, all of that, well, I guess
Right.
the lady was running to get out the chaos, and that's how she ended up getting shot. Because that's the same thing. Look, Janet, I said the same thing. I said, you
That
mean to
bullet.
tell
That's
me
some
a bullet went from 35th in
to
Indiana
third.
to 35th in King Drive? And here's
That's
the deal.
why.
I'm gonna even give the dude partial credit that maybe he collapsed and was shooting down there by McDonald's, which I think would be, is that Giles or what's the street after where that Payless used to be? I'd give him that. But still,
Right.
for a bullet, and do you know how
To
many
go that.
people, traffic,
Right. I know
cars?
where that is.
Right, right.
My mom was there at that nursing home on
Yes,
35th. So I know
yes,
exactly where that is. Not that
yes.
far from the Chicago police headquarters.
Yeah, but here's the deal. They don't have police cars there like a police station.
I know that.
That's just corporate.
I
So
know.
51st or wherever in the
In
expressway
Whitworth, yeah.
would be the nearest police station. So,
Right.
and then a cop got shot in Gary today.
I
So
know.
we are living in some strange times. Strange
We are.
times. Yes,
Just
very
crazy.
good. All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. We're so glad you guys are here with us this evening. Beautiful winter night, not cold, not snowing, not, anything bad. It's a good evening, and we hope that we're warming you up as you're watching us tonight. Coming up tomorrow night on the show, we're going to meet a husband and wife duo known as the Black Foodies. They are featured on various streaming platforms. They have a wonderful YouTube channel, and they talk about the best of the best in Black-owned restaurants, as well as they cook recipes themselves. Tomorrow night, they're going to talk about their favorite restaurants, whether here in Chicago, in the state, or across the country, even around the world. Some of their favorite places.
And interestingly enough, this week is Black Restaurant Week. So if you get a chance, y'all, especially in Chicago, go visit an African American restaurant. We are still in Black History Month, even though Black History happens when, y'all? Every day, not just in February. We just have our anniversary in February, of which today, this date in Black History was the day that Carter G. Woodson said we're going to have Black History Week. So
wow. Very good. Very good. Isn't that amazing? Okay. What other little tidbits and facts that you have?
Well, let's just see. Also today in sports news, we got another Black coach.
We do. I saw that.
How about that?
Yes, let's talk about who that Black coach is.
Well, I believe he's going to be coaching at the Houston Texans. And even though a lot of these sports enthusiasts was like, well, I don't know how good that is. But I think this is coming on the heels of the Black coach from Miami who was let go, and he's filing a lawsuit with the NFL. NFL's trying to downplay this, but we not having that.
No, we not. Yeah, we need more representation other than just being the players.
Here's the deal. Prior to this new coach, and I'm trying to pull up his information. Oh, wait a minute. I thought it was a different person. Guess who's the coach? Lovie Smith. That name should sound familiar to everybody, because Lovie Smith was what? He was the Bears head coach.
Yes, he was. I
said, wow. Okay. Well, okay. Now, this is interesting because, as I said, the first African American coach was Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
And so now they have two Black coaches. But again, Mario Flores, who was the coach of the Miami Dolphins, was fired, and he filed a lawsuit, which I think this is gonna have some merit, because NFL, they want to show that they're so diverse. They're not diverse. The only reason why they even my opinion is because they have this Rooney rule out of the late Art Rooney, that they have to at least hire, or not hire, but interview a minority candidate. So, given the fact that Mario Flores is filing a discrimination suit against the NFL, they're trying to cover their you-know-what. And that's just my opinion.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. Okay, very good. Well, we'll see how that all unfolds. And shout out to our friend, Mr. Lovie Smith. Once he grew that beard, that put him in a whole new category.
He reminded me of a box that we used to, for those people who love rice. He reminded me of that. I need you to quit.
He remind you of Uncle Ben.
That's what he reminded me of.
And Uncle Ben got retired. Him and Aunt Jemima, they got retired.
They did. So I didn't want to go there, but he does remind me of that with that beard.
Okay. All right. I thought the beard added a lot of, he one of them beard daddies. That's what I thought, but okay. All right. Yes. Okay. Art Shell was the first Black NFL coach. Yes,
he was.
Yes.
He was. And a great Art Shell, Art Sims, y'all may have been family.
Yes, that is true. Art Shell, Art Sims. I don't know. We'll see. All right, very good. We'll see how that all works. All right, well,
And
we'll
speaking
just
of football, wait, guess who's coming this Sunday? Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, Super Bowl. So
Super
now
Bowl this coming Sunday.
I know. So are you cheering for anybody, or you I normally give a Super Bowl party.
My team was not in it. And although I really wanted Kansas City to win because I like the quarterback, but Cincinnati had not been in the big dance for a while. So kudos to I know since I have a lot of family in Cincinnati, so I know they just so happy. And
Right.
LA Rams,
Yes.
it's gonna be in LA. I'm looking for the halftime show because it's gonna be a hip hop extravaganza,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I mean, even Regina Bell's gonna be, they're doing the gospel piece of. So it's gonna be it has a definite African American vibe this
Yes.
coming Super Bowl. So I like to just watch it just for the music. If I had to pick a team, I would want Cincinnati win because they have not won in over 30 years.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love LA. I do have family in Cincinnati as well, too. As we all know, that's where actress Regina King is from.
Yes.
Cincinnati has a great theater community, all of that. I'm happy for them. I guess there's a gentleman that they raise money for this older gentleman to be able to go to LA to see the
Yes, I
Super
heard
Bowl because
that.
he was
Yes.
crying and so emotional and things like that.
Right.
So I give a halftime party because
Oh.
I don't pay attention to the football game at all. I give a halftime party. And the thing is that the joke on social media is that there's a concert this Sunday with a football game also. They are building this more as a concert Sunday than a football game. So I'm excited to see the performances. I am.
I am too. Because, I mean, you think about it, Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, Eminem. Come on. And
Yeah.
you get a chance to see it free.
Right.
You ain't
Right.
got to pay nothing to see this.
Preston is hilarious. Another chess move by the NFL. They probably got the bucket boys. Right.
Lord have mercy.
They doing whatever they can to show we are so black. We so black. We pro black. It's Black History Month. We giving y'all everything. Right. Janet Jackson have been able to tell her story. All of that. A mess. A mess. A super mess. That's all it is. A super
That's what we
mess.
need to talk about. Who had the best halftime show? I mean, I already know my answer is going to be
Who?
Prince.
Prince's
I love me some
halftime
Janet,
show.
but Prince had he had it. He had it to me hands down.
Prince's
That's all.
halftime show was good, but now I'm gonna take you way back.
Take me way back.
I'm gonna take you back to Miss Diana Ross, and she left the stadium in a helicopter.
Oh, I gotta YouTube that one
That was
because I
yeah,
know it's on YouTube.
right. Yes, yes,
Okay, all right.
yes. My cousin Ray Horton was drafted by Cincinnati, so I guess
Okay.
very
All
good.
right,
All
Ray.
right, very good. That's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah, the Prince show was incredible. It really, really was. But I do remember back in the day when
Okay.
Diana Ross was singing, and I don't know if she was singing "I Will Survive" or whatever it was. And in typical Miss Ross glamour, baby, she went, stood, and next thing you know, a helicopter took her out of the place. So
Now, speaking of Diana, before we have our show, before we have our guest, I happened to see for the first time Lady Sings the Blues with Diana. I saw it last night. I had never seen Lady Sings the Blues in my life. Do you hear me? And I saw it last night, and I said, I understand now why she got the honors that she did that year. Because to play Billie Holiday in her best and in her worst, that takes a lot.
yes,
But yeah,
yes,
that was my
yes.
first time seeing Lady Sings the Blues last night.
You know what? That's so funny because I'm not going to get on you about that because I had a situation like that a few years. It's been a minute now, but people always be like, girl, I should take your black card. You ain't never seen that movie. You how old? You how old? You how old? Well, that's the way it was for me, an imitation of life. I probably was. I know. I had to have been in my mid 40s before I saw
Wow.
Imitation of Life. Right. And people was like, what? I was like, no, I'm just seeing it. And I ended up watching both of them. And
Hmm.
people was like, Art, we are just floored. We gonna take your black card. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So okay. So last night was your first time seeing Lady
See,
Sings the Blues.
and see, you gotta remember too. My mom and my parents were very careful me watching certain things, and I understand now because there was one scene where they showed where I was like, oh my goodness, I would
Right.
probably just go bat snit crazy.
Right.
And it's a scene where she comes when she sees a young black man who was hanged, and that gave her the idea to sing "Strange
Right.
Fruit."
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I was really, and the chemistry that Billy D and Diana had, I was like, wow, okay, I
Yeah.
can see it, I can see
Yes.
it.
Absolutely. Very good. All right. Rick said he saw Stevie Wonder's halftime show. I remember
Okay,
that.
I remember that.
Lolita said Prince performed in the rain.
That's what I'm
No, he
saying. Now
right,
he
right.
can
Yes.
perform in the rain and still look
Absolutely.
good.
Right. Yes.
Yes,
In heels. In heels with your
in
booty out.
heels. That's right.
In heels with your booty out. Yes. Amen. You know you's a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Okay, shut your
Yes.
mouth.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so Rick says, I would love to play the new party game, Black Card, with you and Art. We'll have to make
Black
that happen.
card.
I've never
What's
even
that?
heard the game. Right.
I
I
ain't heard no
never,
game. What kind of
I
game is
guess
that?
it's one
Black
of them
card.
things, probably like, I've never seen or I don't know.
Oh,
Or
okay.
I bet
All right.
I have to find out because we can make that happen. We can make that
Okay.
happen. Um,
Absolutely.
well, I mean, I even told this story to somebody too when we may have talked about this on here. When I was coming up, we didn't listen to black music unless we were at a party, at a
Yes.
nightclub,
That's right. I'm
somewhere.
the same way. Because
Yeah,
I mean, to this day, my family called me white girl. They're like, "What?" Because I would listen to WLS. That was my
right.
station of choice to listen to
Yeah,
the radio. So there
right.
you go.
Yeah, my grandmother who raised me, my maternal grandmother, elevator music is what we listen to. Like I tell people, Delta Dawn and a Lonely Teardrop and
Mm-hmm.
elevator kind of light FM type of music.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get connected to real black music till I started high school. So that's why I tell people to wake up, get ready for school, and to listen to somebody like Bonnie DeShong. And now we are good friends. That's like a childhood dream. Like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me? The lady in the radio and I are very good friends. But I didn't listen to black stuff until I was in high school. So no,
Same
I just
here.
yeah.
And the thing about it, for me to listen to Motown, my parents, we had a record player where we would play music, but as far as listening on the radio, that didn't happen. My father would
Right.
listen to WBBM 780 because he would take that all the way to work, but he would play records at home. But to listen to the radio of black music, that wasn't happening until I
Right.
got of
Right.
age where I decided to listen to WJPC. That was my black station back in the day, going into high
Yes.
school.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Rick is explaining the game. It's where your black card gets revoked if you haven't experienced various things. I almost would want to play that. I really
I
would.
want to play
I
that too.
really would. Because here's the deal. I tell people all the time, not all black people are the same.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? And
That's
depending
right.
on how you were raised, who you were raised by, the
Mm-hmm.
circumstances and situations. The only time I ever went to church where people were shouting and hollering and running around was when I would go south to visit relatives. We went to Catholic or either Lutheran church. So all of that. No, I used to be terrified in church when I was younger. Girl, I'd be scared half out of my wits in that church. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yep. So,
Oh my goodness.
right. So,
We've
all right.
we've
We are
lived
waiting
we
on
lived
our
parallel
guest.
lives about that because it's the same way here. We ain't doing no
Yeah,
shouting and screaming, none of that.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
No, honey, no. I went to,
I look very funny when I see somebody shouting. I'm like, okay, are they
yeah,
all
right.
right?
Me too. I'm like, girl, do I need to
You
run
need some
towards the
help?
door? Right. Do I need to run? Well, I told you to this very day, I don't sit in the front of nobody's church. I sit in the back because I need to be able to watch the door. I
That's
need to,
right.
and that's way before any terrorist,
Right.
pandemic, any of that. I've always been
Right.
that person. I sit in the back of the church with the little old ladies on the oxygen tanks, and they got that Brock peppermint in their purse. And you know, Brock's ain't been around in years, so you know
Oh
how
my
old that
God.
peppermint is. You know how old,
Okay.
right? Right.
That's
You
right.
bite into it, it's stuck in your tooth, all
That's
that.
right.
Yes. Yes. Amen. Very good. All right. Well, I see our guest has popped in the green room, and we're
Yes.
excited to welcome him back to the show tonight. For those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. Don't go anywhere. We still have a little more of the show left tonight. Today is the official kickoff to Valentine's Day. Next Monday is Valentine's Day. And so, what we're doing on the show every night this week is to talk about love. How can we increase love? How can we be better at whatever we want to do, whether you're in a relationship, looking for somebody, been married forever? We just want to have open and honest dialogue about love. And so tonight, our guest is no stranger to the show. I consider him a good friend and really almost a brother to me. I love talking to him because he gives real, raw advice when it comes to dealing with relationships and dealing with men. And over the course of our friendship, we have said no matter what type of man you are, gay, straight, whatever the case may be, if you know good, you know good. And
Mm.
so tonight we're going to talk about why women and some men are attracted to the bad boys and what should we be doing to attract ourselves peaceful and harmonious people. Don't you? Isn't that what you want, Kay Renee?
Amen to that.
Yes. Okay, wait a minute. Let's go. Before we bring him on, I experienced a lady rolling on the floor. I was truly scratching my head. Oh, yeah. People in church, that used to scare me when I was a kid. Oh, absolutely. Next to the little old lady. Right. I sit next to the little old ladies in church. I do not play. I sit next to them. Because if something go down, I'm going to grab a walker. I'm going to grab a pocketbook. They don't have purses. They have pocketbooks. And
They
I'm going to
do.
grab
That's
it
right.
and shield myself with them pocketbooks.
That's
Ladies and
right.
gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Our good friend, relationship guru, book author, the author of the book Broken, everybody's favorite, the one and only Mr. Leon Walker.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm back.
Hi,
Hey, what's
Yay! What's going on, brother? Happy New Year. Happy Black History Month. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Art. Happy New Year. Happy Black History Month. Thank you for having me as always. You know, you can call me an hour before any show and I'm going to pop on with you. You know that.
I appreciate you. Kay Renee and I were talking earlier about the fact that you give some of the just realest, raw advice ever that is relatable to all people. Leon, let's talk a little bit about your background and what made you write this book for those that might be seeing you the first time on the show.
So, the first book I wrote, Broken, I had, you know what, Art? I think about it now. I was thinking about it the other day. I wrote that book at 48 years old, but everything that happened to me was from age 5 to 18. I should have wrote that book at 18 years old. So I waited another 30 years to write it, only because I was at the barbershop and a friend of mine heard my story. We were just talking, you know how barbershops are. And he's like, you should just write a book. And I started thinking about it and I went home and it helped me because when I started writing the book, I had suppressed everything, being molested, being raped, my parents divorced, peeing in the bed from kindergarten to 7th grade, stopped taking showers when my parents got divorced, stopped brushing my teeth turned green. I had suppressed all of that. I was chewing on my shirt collars as a kid. I didn't find out until I was 47 when I started therapy that I had an oral fixation problem because of my being molested by my female cousins. So I didn't know any of this stuff. I just suppressed it. When I started writing a book, people like, how did you remember all this stuff? It started coming back. I just never forgot it, but I suppressed it. But I was acting those things out in my relationships. I was angry. I was dysfunctional. I had low self-esteem. I didn't have confidence in relationships. All I could do in a relationship was be sexual. I didn't know how to hold hands. I didn't know how to hug, cuddle, and felt like I was suffocating when a woman wanted to cuddle with me. I didn't know how to do those things. So my relations were all based on the physical attributes of the women, because what I saw when my cousins molested me, what I saw when my babysitter took my virginity. So I lost my virginity at 8 years old. And from that point on, I was addicted to certain type of women: red lipstick, big lips, big breasts, big butts, hairy vulvas, older women my age couldn't do anything with me because of my childhood. And women used to always say, Leon, the only time you motivate or you're happy is when we laying down together. After that, I'm like drinking a beer, smoking, or watching ESPN. So my relationship mindset was destroyed as a child. I should have had therapy as a child. I should have gone through therapy at 10, 11 years old, because, I tell people I could have been many things. I could have been a child molester, but I'm not. I could have been a rapist, but I'm not. All those things happened to me. I could have been gay, but I'm not, because my uncle used to touch me. You know my story.
Right.
My gay friends I'm really close to, like yourself, they give me confidence. I talk to them, I reach out to them. Gay people are very, very courageous to me. They give me insight and advice about relationships, because they know. And they're very trustworthy. Gay people are very real. So my first gay mentor was a man that my mother moved in when my father left the house. And he taught me about life. The only reason why I was able to make it through the 7th and 8th grade was because of him. So I could have been many things, but I'm straight. I love women, and I have an idea. I have knowledge about all relationships, men, women, and everybody. So my childhood was the benchmark for who I ultimately became, but it was also the benchmark for me understanding who I really was and being better in relationships.
Incredible. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoy talking to you, because I see the versatility. I see the humbleness. I see, you're talking about something that is really taboo for a lot of men to talk about. But I think in this day and age, it's better to be straightforward and honest and lay it all on the table and let people make a decision from there. Kay Renee, what are your thoughts on what he said? Because I believe that's why I enjoy talking to him.
Well, I always enjoy you, Leon, because every time that you come on, I learn something different about you. And like I've seen the growth since meeting you for the first time. And I'm very proud of you that you can be as vulnerable and as authentic as you are, because, I've shared this with Art, with my ex-husband. He was molested by his father at age 6. He had a lot of different things, and unfortunately, we could not survive our relationship because he was angry. He lacked self-confidence. He just, so when I first heard your story, I was like, damn, this sounds so familiar. But the difference is that you came to grips with it, and you wanted healing. Whereas a lot of men don't want to be healed. They just want to suffer. And that's not living. That's truly existing. So, I just applaud you each and every time that you come and speak and tell your story.
Yeah, and a lot of men are, like Art said, therapy and getting help is taboo, but therapy is wanting to make us better. Me and my girlfriend, me and my wife. If people don't want to go through therapy, a lot of times they're afraid to hear the truth. I was terrified.
Right.
Terrified.
What would make people so attracted to people that are bad for us, that are not good, is it a physical thing? Is it a mental thing? What do you think makes people attract to each other? Because I during the pandemic, I said, listen, God, I don't want to be in nothing else where I'm by myself, locked down. The pandemic shut down booty calls, everything. But as you are now, it did well for those of you that wasn't trying to take that risk. It shut down booty calls. Yes, but what do you think, makes people attract to each other? And we all know something is wrong, but we just ignore it.
Well, what I think is the one of the terms we use is opposites attract, but opposites also subtract. So and women, so the women that are OBGYNs, right? Doctors, lawyers, dentists, everybody's professional, but if you talking about these executive level professional jobs, those women have been into Catholic schools, have been sheltered. Parents are still married for 35 years. You know, they go right out of elementary, junior high, high school. They go to a prominent college, a prestigious college. They live a traditional lifestyle. They don't think that they're going to meet anybody like me. They think the world is all perfect and beautiful because they've been shown that. And so after a while, say for instance, the OBGYN, she's gone through internship and residency and 10, 15 years of school. And now she's making $500,000 a year. And she's like, where did my life go? I just go to work. I come home. Now I want kids. So they wind up choosing anybody that makes them feel good. They choose anybody that makes them laugh because they've been conditioned to live, to have morals and integrity and character to live a traditional life, which is the right way to live. But then they become bored with that. And they're like, I got all this money. I got Platinum American Express cards. I got cars. I got a house. I got money, but no kids. So then they lower these standards. They pick the first dude to come by. And so those women are also, like, some of them are virgins later on in life, or they may have been with one or two guys. And so their street cred is very, very low. So I met a lot of women like that. And it was just, and no disrespect to them, they were great women. I just wasn't ready for them as far as from a moral aspect. But sexually and in the streets, I just ran circles around them. And I heard a lot of women doing that. But those women, they want something different. They seen their mother and father together for 35 years. Like, well, yeah, my dad was a good guy, but he's kind of boring. I heard women tell me this. I'm like, your parents been married for 35, 40 years, and your father retired, your mother retired, they at home together, and now you moved off. Yeah, my dad was a great man, but I want to try smoking weed sometime. You know, when I drink wine, I get a little tingly. You know, I'm not making fun of them, but I met those women before, and I know some that were OBGYNs, married a guy, had kids, everything was fast-paced, and she bought him the world, Teslas and Hummers and clubs, and then wind up cheating on her. And then when you do that to them, they like, oh, what do I do? They turn to their white friends that are lawyers. They turn to the relationship people that are trying to help them out. But at that point, they have everything. They just don't have the right man. And they allow themselves to find a man that was the opposite of their dad, which is who they needed. They needed the one that was just like their dad because that's what they were used to. But they wait so late in life, and they talk about the biological clock is ticking, and then they just settle and they lower their standards. So that opposite attracts type thing, it's like the thrill. It's exciting because they'll meet another doctor. They'll go through internship and residency with another doctor. His parents been married for a long time. He's never drank before. He's never been in a fight. And I'm not saying those are good things, but sometimes women like that have all this education, all these things, they want a guy that's like edgy. And right. They turn them on.
Mm-hmm. You still there, Kay Renee? Hello. Do I need to send the paramedics to you? You all right?
No, he's speaking truth. I had a few bad boys, but then I woke the F up. So now, and see, one thing I really learned that every time when you come on the show, and I've used that, I ask a man, what season are you in? Because that's important. When you said that, I was like, I will always, what season? Because this is the season I'm in. I come with that vernacular right off the bat, and they're like, well, I'm not in that season. Well, then we can't. Sorry, because we in the wrong season. We gotta be in the right season together. So I even thank you for just saying that, because I use that when men want to talk to me. I ask them, what season are you in?
Yeah,
you not in my season. You gotta be out of season.
Yeah, Kevin. When you ask those hard questions, when women ask me hard questions, I started like looking around, getting nervous because I was known for. In my therapy, she told me, you're dealing with avoidance, and I was like, avoidance. And I looked it up. I'm like, that's me. I had never thought about it my entire life. They start asking me hard questions. I shut down. I go drink, smoke. I'm out of here, But those hard questions, that showed her my red flags right off the bat. She knew what I was about when she asked me that question.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. We have some comments. One of them is, when they are sheltered like that, is it possible that they become prey?
Yes.
Yes. Help us out with that one, Leon.
Because their street cred is very, very low. They're good women, don't get me wrong. And there's some good men out here for women, but there's some women out here like me that will prey on good men that's been sheltered, that come from a healthy family. I come from a very dysfunctional family. Not proud to say it, but I embraced it. So they become prey. They don't know a lot. Their street credibility is low because they've been to college. They had the Catholic schools, the nuns. Everybody's teaching them all these morals and stuff. I ain't had no morals. My family got divorced at 10, 11 years old. That was it for me as far as family morals. So I was like, I'm in the streets. And that's what I resonated with. That's what made me feel good. my motivation was in the streets. My motivation was never in the relationships. And so, yeah, they become prey instantly. So they have to guard themselves. And a lot of times they don't know what to do. They don't know, where is he at? What is he doing? He said this. I don't know what to believe in. And most times they want to believe a lie, knowing that it's a lie. So, well, maybe I'm meeting a man like me the way I was. I lied a lot. I lied. Lying felt good to me. Lying was fun to me, and so those women and men, because there are men that are just like those women that are groomed to be traditional, that are groomed to be grooms and groomed and built to be brides. They are prey 100%. And you can see them coming, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they respond. My ex-wife was a very sheltered lady, but a great woman. I just wasn't good enough for her. I wasn't. We were in different seasons when I met her. When I met her, her season was being wholesome, going to work, having a good family. My season was being in the streets, being a little dirty alley cat. And so that it was an attraction to her because she like stern type of men, edgy. But women, they want that. But then when you get it, like K. Renee said, when you get it, it's like, ooh. But sometimes some women wait too late to break away, and then they become destroyed. The credit scores drop, the bank accounts are wiped out, the cars are crashed, all kind of stuff going on.
Wow. So Preston put a comment up that people meet you where you are. Depression will lower your standards. I agree with that. I absolutely do agree with that. K. Renee, as a woman, though, you stay very firm about what it is that you do and don't want. Now, as a man, I probably can say that is true, but how do you feel about that as a woman, K. Renee?
No, I mean, there's some truth to that. I think, when it comes to the bottom line is this, you have to first love self. When you love yourself, and I mean truly love yourself, there's a lot of snit that you're just not going to put up with. But that takes time. You say in your backstory that, your family was dysfunctional. They really didn't know about what self-love and self-care is. Once you find that out and once you truly can embrace it, you're not going to put up with no BS. You're just not going to do it.
She's
and
right.
Even though when Art and I kiki about me, like my cuddle buddy, trust me, and y'all know this, if I wanted a cuddle buddy right now, cuddle buddy be right here in my house.
That's right.
But again, I'm in a different season.
Right.
I know what my season is. My season is taking care of K. Renee.
Yes.
As Malcolm X says, by any means necessary.
That's
now,
right.
If you're in that season, we can have conversation.
Yep.
If you're not in that season, bye-bye.
Yeah, because it ain't.
I'm very clear on that. Very clear.
Yep, and you stand firm on it because you're in the season. I might just be in a reason to be in your season. I ain't got no season.
Right.
I'm hunt,
Right. Mm-hmm. And it might be the season that I might have to sell a little bit.
Okay.
Right?
You never know. It might be the season you have to sell a little bit. Before we wrap up this conversation, Leon, because this has been really, really great. What do you want to say to all the women out there that are looking for somebody? Valentine's Day is next Monday, a week from today. I know so many just beautiful women that are single. I was talking to some women yesterday, as you said, those upper echelon women, the pickings and choosing for men are slim nowadays. What advice would you want to give these ladies?
First, you know what, Art and K. Renee, I tell women, first of all, date yourself. Everybody worried about Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Valentine's Day, Halloween, whatever. Date yourself, because if you're expecting somebody to call, well, you just slept with a boy a week ago and you just waiting for him to call you on Valentine's Day. He ain't going to call. He ain't coming by. And a lot of times they come by with that ugly old Sara Lee, what they call it, Lee, that ugly candy where you bite the green and the green mint is chocolate and it got strawberry on the inside.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know how to buy the right chocolate. I recommend Godiva chocolate, Toblerone, Lindt, the good quality chocolate, but date yourself and don't expect somebody to come around and buy you some hearts or some chocolate or, some take you to the movies. Date yourself. Get into yourself. Amen. And then a lot of times women expect certain things from men. And for me, I was really good at buying gifts. I was really good because I had when I was a player, I'm like, kicking out 20s and 50s and candy and movie tickets and all this stuff and dinners. I was tired, but I did that part right, because I wanted something else in return. The night that I planned for us, it wasn't for you, it was for me, but I knew what you liked. So I had all kind of games going on. But date yourself, enjoy yourself, and don't expect somebody to give you something because you gave them something a week ago. And I also tell women, don't stop going on dates when you're horny, because you're going to wind up being a one-night stand, and then you're going to get mad at him because you gave it up. Take care of yourself before you go on that date so that when you do, your emotions are going to be real down here. But if you go out on a date and you horny, you looking at, oh, he smelled good, girl. Look at his beard. Oh, he got wide shoulders. Ooh, he got big hands. He got big feet. Oh, I'm going to get him. I know how women think. But if you're going out there and you dating and you horny, you're going to get a one-night stand, and that's it, because we looking for the same thing. We just don't want to work hard for it. If you come out there and your body fired up and you got on that tight shirt and your nipples sticking out, I'm going to be all about that. And it's a one-night stand. I might not call you for 3 days if I ever call you back.
Woo! Drop that mic.
Drop that mic, baby. He done cleared it up for me, you, and everybody else that's listening.
He's
right.
telling the truth. No
He
question
is.
asked.
He is. Yes, absolutely. Leon, how can people find you, follow you, reach you, all that great stuff? Did you get because a couple of women I told that were coming on tonight, they was like, I follow him on TikTok. So how can they follow you, brother?
On TikTok, everywhere is Leon R. Walker Jr. or Leon R. Walker. I'm in Google, on LinkedIn, Instagram, Leon R. Walker Jr., Facebook, Leon R. Walker Jr., and TikTok, excuse me, Leon R. Walker Jr. And Art, I want to talk to you within the next week or so. I'm gonna do, my book is coming, another book coming out in May, and I'm gonna give you copies. I'm gonna do a giveaway, free giveaway.
Okay.
So me, you, and Kay Renee can get down with that. It'll be out, but I want to do a special with you just to give books away, because you've always looked out for me. You got me started back in 2018. I came on your show, and or maybe 19, but you always brought me on, and you put me out there, and that really helped me out. So I owe a lot to you. But yeah, Leon R. Walker Jr. And my website is up. They had to make some corrections, so you see some spelling grammars on the homepage. But my website is leonrobertwalkerjr.com.
Okay.
I'm anywhere, Art.
All right. Well, brother, you always do a great job. Whatever you need or want. I told you, I don't have a big brother. I don't have uncles and people like that around me, but you are my brother, because me and you have what I consider really great conversations.
Yeah.
That just period. Men need to talk about relationships. It does not matter who you sleeping with. It's what is your moral fiber like? Who are you? And what are you trying to get as the end result in situations? And I feel that every time we talk, these conversations are great like that. Kay Renee, go right ahead and say your closing thoughts to our guests.
Well, Leon, you definitely my big brother, and
I
love it when you keep it real. As I said, every time when we talk, I always get something from you. So I know what to do now the next time. Because again, I don't need a cuddle buddy. Because if I could get one, I could have one. That's not the season. So, many blessings to you. Can't wait for your new book to come out. And happy Love Day and happy Love Week to you, my dear.
Happy Love Day, happy Love Week to you all too. Thank y'all for having me as always. I enjoy it.
Thank you. You guys go to leonrobertwalker.com, leonrobertwalker.com for more information. Follow him on all of his social media platforms. He does great videos, TikTok, Instagram, all of that, where he speaks to you. Almost like he your man standing there telling you some stuff. It's really great. It really is. Leon, you're getting a lot of great feedback from the audience. Was a great conversation. It really was. Brother, stay well. I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know whatever you need, and I got you, okay?
Likewise.
All right. Have a great night. Thanks again.
Later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was excellent. He always does such a great job. Always. Just a great job. Okay. Well, darling, let's get on up out of here, because I got to unlock the door for Cuddle Buddy. So, yes. I got to unlock the door, right. Sitting in the hallway waiting.
Let me give this nugget so you can
open
the door.
Go right ahead.
All right. Today is Make It Happen Monday. And this nugget, all my nuggets this month are by African American. So this nugget comes from Madam C.J. Walker. Says, don't sit down and wait for opportunities to come. Get up and make them. Again, this is hashtag Make It Happen Monday. Enough said.
Amen. For more information about enough being said, you want to go to karensnuggetsofknowledge.com, karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. All of her information is there. Make sure you follow her on social media platforms as well, too. Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. All right, very good. All right, let's get some of the feedback. Who is a mess? Me? Am I a mess? I must be right. I must be a mess. Am I a mess? Lord,
No.
I'm just telling y'all how it is. Just telling y'all. Just, Yes, absolutely. I got to go open the door. So, yes. Yes. All right. So, for more information about me, please visit therealchatdaddy.com. Therealchatdaddy.com. Don't forget, tomorrow night, the Black Foodies will be here with us, husband and wife duo that will be talking about some of their favorite places, Chicago, state of Illinois, United States, and around the world. Some of their favorite places and some of their recipes. All right. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, therealchatdaddy.com for more information about me. If you've not done so yet, please subscribe to the show on YouTube, Facebook. The Real Chat Daddy Show is free. It's easy. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We love you guys so very much. Stay safe, stay warm. Okay, Renee, I'll talk to you later, boo.
All righty. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a
It's the real Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show. It's the real Chat Daddy Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome